We're back, episode 2 on how to learn golf for beginners. We've talked a little bit about the basics, the golf clubs that you would need, and some of those basic accessories. You don't need a lot. But today we're here on a putting green. We've got a couple of putters. I'm here with my head golf professional at Bearspaw Golf Club, Sam Hart. Sam.
Hey everybody.
How you doing?
Very good, very good.
Good.
To see you.
Good. So first thing we want to talk about is the putter, just because most of you have probably been to a mini golf before. You're a little bit familiar with what a putter is and what that encompasses. Sam, you're going to walk me through some of the basics of putting and why that one might be the first and most important step to get somebody a little bit comfortable around a golf course.
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, mini putt is something that a lot of people are familiar with.
Right.
So putting stroke is also the smallest stroke we're going to create in the game of golf.
Totally.
So it's definitely the easiest one to start with.
Yep.
Not as many moving parts. You really just kind of have your upper body, your shoulders are moving as opposed to a full rotation of the body and trying to get an actual sequence going.
Yeah.
So yeah, putting, essentially we're going to start with the grip. We always kind of start there with how we actually hold onto the club.
Okay.
So
and this is very individualized,
It
right?
is, yeah. So it's kind of like what I say to some of my students is it's very much like like holding a pen.
Right.
It's kind of your own way of doing it, your own style. Everybody holds it differently. Same thing with the putter.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of fundamentals we want to make sure that are kind of uniform.
Right.
So in a golf grip, we typically hold, and with regular clubs, we hold it in the fingers. Here, what we're going to do is try to hold it mostly in the palms, so that the putter actually sits in this part of our hand as opposed to down in the fingers here.
Right. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference of that when we actually are swinging a golf club, which is slightly different. How do you grip a club? And maybe I'll grip it slightly differently so we can just show people there's many different ways to grip a golf club.
Absolutely. So mine is fairly standard.
Yeah.
I've basically got my top hand, which is my left hand, this way, and I've got my right hand on bottom. This would be sort of a normal grip.
Traditional grip. I would do the reverse, right?
And you're going to go left hand low.
Yeah, right in the palm of my hand.
Exactly.
Like that.
Thumbs pointing down the shaft. We don't want to have them wrapped over or under. And really, what you're trying to do is create some kind of connection between your two hands.
Right.
So whether it's for me, I have my index finger of my top hand or my left hand that kind of just wraps over the rest of these fingers here. So I feel like that's more connected for me.
And for me, I have both thumbs down the length of the putter grip.
Yep.
This is what we call a 10-finger putter grip.
Exactly. No connection of the two hands.
No connection, which is fine.
Yep.
Whatever, like you said, people feel comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now this is a short stroke. Let's talk about actually hitting an actual putt. We'll hit a couple of putts in a minute. What do you think the most important thing is somebody when they come to putt for the first time? What do they focus on?
Really, the most important thing in putting, there's two parts to it. You
Yeah.
have the direction that your putt goes or the line,
right? And
you have the speed or how fast you hit the putt.
And of those two things, what do you think a beginner golfer should be most focused on?
Absolutely, 100% is speed.
Speed. I totally agree with you, Sam. You can be 4 feet off the line, but if your putt is dead weight, you've only got a 4-foot putt length.
Exactly.
If you're 12 feet long or 12 feet short in your putt and you're offline,
it's really bad.
It's really bad,
yeah.
Right? So focus on the weight. We'll talk about that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the actual putting stroke. We've talked about the grip. Talk about how you want to actually create a putting stroke.
Definitely. Again, as we said, it's kind of a short stroke, and really what you're trying to do is create a pendulum-like motion. You're not trying to increase or decrease your speed as you make the stroke, and really you're just trying to get the ball rolling as smoothly as you possibly can. Still trying to focus, even though it's a small stroke and a fairly large head compared to the ball size.
Right.
You're still trying to hit it in the middle. You're still trying to hit the sweet spot of the putter. You're still trying to get it going on line where you've aimed, even if your aim is not perfect.
And I like what you said, you're not trying to increase or decrease the speed. If it's a short putt, we might have a shorter stroke. If it's a long putt, we might have a longer stroke.
Exactly, and to kind of add to that, you'll see a lot of people out there putting if it's a longer putt, where the backstroke comes back very short, but the acceleration is where they try to make up the difference.
Right.
And that tends to get you going in the wrong direction.
Especially the weight. The weight's really hard to control when you're not controlling your backswing and how far you want to hit that putt. Okay, Sam, let's hit a couple of putts. I'm going to hit a couple to this hole beside us here. What do you see on this putt for a beginning golfer? Like you said, we don't focus too much on the break. You and I have been playing a long time, so we know that this putt is going to break a little bit to the right.
Correct.
Yeah, you agree with that?
Yeah,
Maybe
so
it's 6 inches.
Yeah, if that. I think, and
Right.
again, for most people as they're starting, as you said earlier, the line is not as important.
Right.
So we're just trying to basically line ourselves up as if we're going towards the hole, and if we miss on one side a little bit, the goal is to be as close on your next shot as possible.
And I think one of the focuses, don't start with these 80 and 100-foot putts.
No.
Start with a 12 or 15-foot putt. As you get, 4 or 5 in a row that are within a couple of feet, then, slowly progress. This isn't a race. Golf is the only sport where ball's not moving, and you've got to actually do something to hit that ball to make it move, right?
Yeah.
It's all on you. It's an individual sport. Take your time. There's no pressure out here. Just have a good time. Let's try to hit this putt, see if I can get the weight and the distance in a decent spot. We'll see.
Line looks good. And as you said, just trickled off to the right at the end.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, your distance is absolutely bang on.
Right.
And so your next putt, most guys, if they're nice in your
Right.
group, are going to say, go ahead, Perry, just pick that one up.
And if they're not, look, I've got a 4 or 5 inch putt. I'm going to hit that every single time. Even a
Absolutely.
beginning golfer is going to hit that putt. Definitely important to focus on that weight. I hope you enjoyed this episode, the beginning basics of hitting a putt on a putting green. Sam, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Barry.
If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell, that like button. I'll see you next time.